What is going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? Greg here. We're going to watch Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Episode 2. Before any of that, how are you, my elvish friend?
Hi. I am stoic and burdened with I'm good, Greg. I'm good. I'm excited to watch more Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Just not landing today.
Stay tuned for more jokes like this one.
Forge that like button and fire, people. Also, subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when our reaction for the next LOTR ROTP is up here on the channel. And also full-length reaction watch-alongs where you sync up with the time code and your own copy of the Rings of Power available for our super sexy rejects at our Patreon page. Over there, we cover plenty of shows with the same tier. You get the option for reaction highlights and watch-alongs included for several shows we cover exclusively. Lastly, the team of Prepper. Think of how I set it down these highlights. Guys, we got an hour of setup to finish watching. Let's get to it. No, she's going to swim back to shore. Good for her. Prep her body for fighting Sauron.
You shouldn't sneak up on folk like that. You shouldn't be.
Don't you lose her, Samwise Poppy.
What is this?
Your mom's gonna kill you. You're not telling her. Neither am I.
Everyone should know about this.
I know. He fell for the sky.
I didn't go looking for this. But you're not turning away. Because I can't. Because you won't. This stranger isn't a man, or an elf, or some baby eagle with a broken wing. That was one time. He's something else.
Superman.
It's like there's a reason this happened. Like, I was supposed to find him. I can't walk away from that, not till I know he's safe.
She's my favorite character so far.
No bodies. No wounded.
Perhaps they all fled.
Perhaps.
Oh, no.
That's a wounded body.
Damn, what a crazy set.
Someone dug this passage.
Something.
Warn your people.
You're not coming with me.
I must follow the passage the other direction.
You don't know what's down there.
That is the reason I'm Masako.
Oh, you should have kissed her.
Or at least said something cool and elvish.
I want to fill them with beauty, to grow beyond petty works of jewel craft and devise something of real power.
Like a ring.
What is but a glint on the far horizon? You have come to Eregion to help me achieve the how. A tower.
Oh, damn.
Have you considered seeking partners outside the confines of our own race?
How far outside?
Like men.
I don't want to deal with those men folk, all right? They're all the same.
This is going to become like There Will Be Blood. Just the difficulties of forging the rings.
Might your friend be able to grant me access to their workshops?
Oh, if I know Durin, he'll do far more than that. He'll welcome us with open arms. Ram's horns blaring. It is Elrond of Lindon. We seek an audience with Prince Durin.
I thought you were being sarcastic. You really thought that would happen?
I invoke the right of Sigyn Tarag. I'll rejoin you in Eregion.
Are you certain you know what you're doing?
Lord Celebrimbor, trust me.
So these are what will be the Mines of Moria?
We're going to see more the mines in their heyday. Wow.
That is impressive. Beautiful music. That is crazy. Shit.
In the unlikely event the elf should win, we shall grant a single boon. But should he lose...
Banished. Yes. Understood.
Chop, chop.
Not bad. So it's just the endurance of how much you can smash?
Yeah, just gotta keep it going all day.
Hello?
What is this guy?
What?
Definitely Sauron.
She's gonna rehabilitate him. Whoa. Whoa!
I don't understand.
Man.
I'm trying to help you, but I'm just a Harfoot.
No.
Friend. Just a friend. Nori. It's your father.
She's doing the Chris Pratt.
Nori, I'm fine. I slipped on wet grass is all. It's just a twist. There's nothing
Gross.
It's just disfigured and turning black. Always ready for a fight.
Come closer.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm not leaving her adrift.
Suppose we'll be sharing your rations with her then.
Cruelty will not be our deliverance.
Don't let her on.
Us women, we gotta stick together.
I was separated from my ship.
Then you've not seen it.
Seen what?
Oh,
No.
God.
Wait! Until we can see the sails. Corsairs prowl these waters. Do you want to be skinned alive?
This is intense.
That's no Corsair ship.
That's our ship.
Oh. Oh, no.
What the shit?
Release the Kraken.
Wow. Oh, that thing's just taunting you now. Yeah, okay. She's your best hope.
Oh, man, it's bad luck to have a woman on a ship.
Oh my God, is she gonna ride it?
Yeah, she's gonna tame it.
Wow, that was a great shot. Holy crap.
Whoa.
Holy Christ. This is an amazing shot.
Dang.
Oh, that was great. I kept
Yeah.
going like underwater too times.
What are you called?
Galadriel.
I'm Halbrand. What's her heading?
Two best looking people survived. Oh.
It's rigged.
The dog may bark at the moon, but he cannot bring it down. Take your leave.
Why is it being a dick?
Perhaps his lordship would be willing to escort me to the exit.
Gladly.
You guys don't gotta play games. Just admit you love each other.
The true purpose of your visit, you want something.
I journeyed here to see my friend whom I've greatly missed.
Missed! You missed my wedding. The birth of my children, 2 of them. You cannot barge into my mountain and demand I welcome you with open arms.
Oh, he's just hurt.
20 years may be the blink of an eye to an elf, but I've lived an entire life in that time.
Oh.
A life you missed.
You're too wrapped up in your work, Elrond.
See, that's how you make a character very likable right away.
Yes.
Or at least care about.
I hope you can come to forgive me. And I would like very much to apologize to your family as well.
One apology to Disa and you're off.
You're staying for dinner.
He's leaving.
He's staying.
He's leaving.
He's staying.
Hey, I told you to stay out of my head.
Make yourself comfortable, please.
But not too comfortable.
Gamley.
He's my favorite character. The dwarf.
Durin. There's a reason they celebrate Durin's Day.
He's not here for us. His king sent him here to take what's ours.
To the contrary, coming to Khazad-dûm was my idea. And I have asked for nothing but your ear.
Aye, and that's how it starts.
What sort of tree is it exactly?
A seedling of our great tree in Lindon.
Some called him a fool for believing it would grow in such darkness.
Where there is love, it is never truly dark.
Oh.
You're not leaving already.
I fear I've overstayed my welcome. Thank you, Disa.
Nice. Nice. Fear of loss. Yeah, pull away. Let's say negotiate.
Shrewd, Elrond.
Yeah.
Sorry, sit down.
Oh, yeah, great. Good job.
Do you blame us for your being stranded here?
The way I see it, it wasn't elves that chased me from my homeland. It was orcs.
Orcs, Sauron.
We must spread the word.
No, I will not have this gossip, Bronwyn.
Osterith is empty, the watchtower abandoned.
I know, and I'm not inviting them elves back on account of some sinkhole. Having them gone is a relief. Well, for most of us, anyhow.
Oh.
That's what this is about.
Bloody mice.
Stupid! Bastard! Lies!
Hey. Wow. Crawl through that takes some serious commitment. I mean, they orcs, right?
Could be. That's what I'm guessing. Secret orc tunnel.
God, what a tight spot.
Now it's the descent.
There you go, a tight spot. I like it.
Oh.
Much better.
Groundwater. Nice. Bringing a little bit of that horror pedigree in here.
What's wrong? What happened?
Get help. Go.
Come on. Vroom, vroom. Oh, yeah.
Hold your mouth, man.
Ugh.
Cool.
shit. Oh. Damn.
Oh, the firewood stuff?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Oh, my man.
Not bad, dude.
Wants the blade.
Damn. Nice.
So Sam Raimi, that whole scene.
I know.
Even that cut.
Bind yourselves to me! Come on! Give me your hand!
Holy God.
Huh.
Great eyesight.
Yeah, especially in that salt water.
Men and elves working together.
They said it couldn't be done.
Now let's see if they could ride the same bus.
I wanted to help you. I thought I could, but I'm sorry.
Great. Now he's going to yell at you.
Oh. Huh.
Is he some type of like sorcerer?
Is he like a proto wizard or something?
Yeah.
He's got the hair and beard to be.
Nori?
Is he like a vessel for something?
Yeah. Seems like he has like a link with the natural world or something.
Elrond is a friend. I trust him.
There can be no trust between hammer and rock. Eventually, one or the other must surely break.
Tarantino.
Yeah, I was thinking the briefcase. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that thing's like a beacon. It's like the ring.
He's addicted to it.
Oh.
Oh, blood activated.
Don't do that. Don't let that happen. Grow that sword back.
You ready?
Yes, Mother. I'm ready.
Oh no. It's got its hooks into him. Who's that?
I'm not sure.
Gandalf?
Definitely.
Isildur?
Definitely.
Aragorn?
It's definitely all three of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before they all split up?
Yeah. There's 3 kids in a trench coat. They're stacked on top of each other.
I told you shouldn't take this boat.
Quiet down. We will take which boat I choose, and you will say nothing else on the matter.
So Gandalf always sounded that way?
Yes, even as a young man wizard guy.
I am young Gandalf. I am old Gandalf.
I am old. I am middle-aged Gandalf. Teenage Gandalf.
In all fairness, Ian McKellen has always looked 88 years old.
Yeah. He's one of a long line of prolific actors who have been old ever since they were born. Him and Abe Vigoda and Patrick Stewart.
No, not Patrick Stewart. He looked young once, by comparison.
Fine. Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Freaking old-ass Steve Buscemi up there. All right. Snap diggity. I like that episode so much more.
Yeah.
Like by a lot.
Yeah, I would say that definitely grew well out of the first one in an upward trajectory.
I don't even know if it's a great episode. It might just feel great by comparison to that super shitty first episode.
An embarrassing first episode.
No. When they release two like this, it's like they want you to watch the second one to get a completer package.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, it made everything just so much better. Like I'm way more on board now. And I'm genuinely, when you cut around to the stories, I'm like, oh, I'm interested in what's going on. Like when sometimes when you have such a big ensemble and you cut around the storylines, a lot of times I might end up feeling in a way of, oh, why we cut away? I don't really want to watch these guys. Oh, no, I'm actually into it. But I noticed with everyone they cut to, I was always interested. I got a little pulled out thinking about myself of, oh yeah, I'm actually interested in like everyone's storyline. Holy crap, this is good. This is good. And if Greg's into it, that must mean it's all right.
It must mean it's quality.
It must mean it's qualitative.
Stamp of approval.
So I'm a
you
hard
guys are
cookie to
all
please.
free to like it now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm known to be the one who doesn't like anything.
Yeah,
That's my
man.
reputation.
Yep.
The guy who can't get on board with anything. No, I thought it was great. I thought this introduction of Prince Durin was, let's say pronounce it Durin? With Prince Durin was excellent. That was like what I was kind of craving with every character from in the first episode, where I'm like, no, there's ways where you can give a character a short introduction and move the plot, but also get you to go like, no, that's a character I'm on board with. And I thought whoever, I don't know this actor, Owain Arthur, but the character himself, like that was so refreshing. You know, because it's like, yeah, I was making jokes, but the dwarves are, you know, they can be a little arrogant and tough and a difficult wall to, depending on the dwarf you're talking to. But usually if it's like the prince or leader character, they're brooding. So it was like, all right, okay, I get it. But then to see that his whole thing was he didn't want to feel used. And that he was just upset for feeling like a friend. Just never bothered to be there for the important moments in life. And he's just such a sensitive dude at the end of the day. And also, you know, seeing like his wife and that loving relationship they have where they're just about to bang on that table was great. And the fact that he definitely kept Elrond in his heart by planting that tree too. I thought that was really sweet and really touching. That scene was like everything with them was excellent. And this episode also significantly made Elrond a much more interesting character to me too. Like as if he's got something to prove himself as well, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it can be tricky to make the younger version of a character like that feel like somebody that you can, I don't know, meet part way and who doesn't feel like they're trying too hard to get to the Elrond we all know and remember, who's, you know, very lofty and ethereal and authoritative. Like I like, his characterization through the actor and too, the whole relationship there just makes everything that much better. And too, I mean, watching him play
Like Gimli and Legolas.
That's right. It's proto Gimli and Legolas.
Thousands of years in the making.
Yeah, and he's going to throw him by the time the season's done. He's going to have to throw him at somebody. But yeah, like, you know, all this stuff with Celebrimbor and them talking about, you know, coming up with this idea that, like, okay, we need to turn to somebody to help us, you know, with this incredible task. And it made me think back in a tangential way. You know, you have the whole speak friend and enter thing in Lord of the Rings before they enter the abandoned mines. And so here I thought it was kind of a fun little twist on that because, yeah, it's like there is a pretense of friendship that they're going off of, but then it puts, you know, Elrond at an immediate disadvantage and then creates an endearing dynamic to watch as, yeah, this ailing friendship is sort of being breathed, having life breathed back into it. And two, I mean, the way that they realized the whole Dwarven kingdom was gorgeous. Just their whole, yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I changed my mind then. So
Yeah.
it was okay.
It was okay.
Meh.
I've seen better Dwarven kingdoms.
in Lord of the Rings. But yeah, no, I thought it did nicely to bring him to a more personable and to a more, not like, I feel like relatable can often be kind of a cheesy word, but into, yeah, just like a more human place as a character. I feel like, you know, the first episode, you already have these ideas about who Elrond is and why, and he's, you know, very personable at the get-go, but I like seeing him at a disadvantage and seeing him put into this position where he's like, I'm not going to win this rock-breaking contest. I need to actually just appeal to my friend. And even the whole thing where he's like, I don't get why you're mad at me. It's only been 20 years. What gives? And then the whole thing about time playing differently because...
Yeah, that's a great conversation.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, so that had the most character richness across the episode, and I really appreciated that.
That feels like a very lived-in piece of dialogue to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that. So that was my favorite aspect of the show. And knowing, you know, because obviously the main thing we have to go off of with the strongest memory is, because John, you've listened to the audiobooks?
It's like a combo, yeah. It's like I've read chunks and listened to all of it, yeah. And then with The Hobbit, I read in both. Yeah. So.
Would you say you read more Lord of the Rings or listened to more?
Well, probably listened to more of it than I would have read because I'm not that fast of a reader, and it's not the breeziest reading material.
Well, I mainly just have the movies to go off of.
Sure. That's the best of my recollection would be the movie.
Is this kind of doing a Watchmen thing where this is a prequel to the books, not to the movies? You know what I mean? Like, I know Watchmen is a sequel to the comic book and not to the Zack Snyder film.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is this because there's so many Peter Jackson influences that are so present here that I started getting confused on, wait a minute, okay, so is this Elrond supposed to turn into freaking Hugo Weaving or are they just doing their own thing, you know?
That's a great question, and I'm honestly not sure. I feel like we live in a time where I feel like the answer is probably murky in the middle because they probably want you to think of all the Peter Jackson stuff, and I think they at least reached out to him about this project. And it's like if you have Howard Shore credited for certain music cues and stuff, it seems like there are physical ties to those movies, but I feel like at the same time, it doesn't have to be. I would err more towards, yes, it's trying to connect to the movies than not, but I'm also not 100% on that.
Is it like more dead set on connecting to the books than it is to the movies? You know what I mean? That's because I know the movies change some stuff.
My best guess would be that they are more concerned maybe with connecting to the movie crowd because I feel like it would be even that much more of a hard uphill battle to be like, this piece of, you know, streaming cinema is going to be the canonical fill-in between the books. Like, I feel like people would not entertain that. So I feel like it's a much easier sell for people to be like, this is supplementary material to the movies.
Gladly go and Lost. Like, I'm not excited for this Easter egg because I didn't read that book.
Yeah. I don't know if we get some Tom Bombadils in here or something like it's the wrong era, but you know, if we get some telltale piece of only book, not movie, then maybe. But yeah.
Okay. Well, regardless, yeah, because it feels like Peter Jackson's influence is all over this.
Yeah.
He wasn't involved with the making of this, but it certainly seems like they took a page out of how Peter Jackson adapted Lord of the Rings and aesthetically mirroring it, even though I know that like Tolkien has had his own drawings and stuff something to go off of. There's way more than just even like the horror touches feel very much like this. Kind of seems like how Peter Jackson might do it.
Yeah, well, and there's connective tissue between Peter Jackson and Sam Raimi in terms of aesthetic style, and so yeah, that's a telltale thing that says movie to me. Also, the design of the orcs looks to be pretty close to the movie orcs.
What I think is cool too is the orcs were just like a quantity of idiots in Lord of the Rings, the films at least. Like they were never scary to me, except for that one guy in Fellowship of the Ring.
The Uruk-hai.
The Uruk-hai, yeah. But the orcs in general are not scary, and here the orcs are actually scary. They actually feel like a real menacing threat that are ferocious and can annihilate you, and they're a reason to fear. Versus in the Lord of the Rings movies, they're like, you just get the right people around, they'll take them out, no problem,
It feel like more like the hyenas from Lion King in the movies, whereas here they so far feel like these like feral creatures that I think too, just having less of them and having them scattered around and having these like run-ins makes it more intense that way.
Yeah.
Well,
we got a lot of characters here. And you had Galadriel swam her way to a life raft that instantly got taken out. Moments upon landing there.
Yep. What luck. that sea creature, that sea beast was something.
I started thinking of Jay. I was like, wait a minute. I know something this guy directed.
Yeah.
And then it was making me think of some of those sequences in
the beginning of
Fallen
Dominion
Kingdom.
Or Fallen Kingdom. That's right.
Yeah.
My favorite Jurassic World movie.
Because I love the attention to detail in the shot when she is swimming away, and then like because when the camera would occasionally like go underwater, like and you would see the advancement of the motion underwater. I thought was a really great detail.
That was an incredible sequence.
That shot in particular,
like that had to be
was
so
amazing.
hard.
Yeah,
because I love too that you also see what looks. I'm sure they could be CG models, but what looks like actors being thrown around in the background when you surface up. Like there's so many little flourishes and details that really sold that.
Yeah, and I like I think because like what we're building to is essentially the opening scene. The show is building to is the opening of Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah,
the
with the big
battle where Isildur cuts off his hand.
Yeah.
So that could be Isildur on that boat.
Just using a different name.
No. The one in the shadows.
Oh, duh. Could be. Yeah.
I don't know.
Be an interesting way to meet him.
Yeah. What's your name? Isildur.
What's yours?
I mean, it's kind of cool to see how like all that came to be. And, and knowing that there's going to be like negative consequences, because by the time when the Fellowship of the Ring happens, the dwarves and elves are still not getting along, and this is supposed to be the thing of we can create a real truce. Not truce, but what was the specific word they said? I don't know, something beyond alliance. Or like we can really create a partnership here in a way that
we can have like a pact, a bond of some kind.
Yeah. So having them knowing that like, okay, maybe they're going to temporarily have that, but it's all going to fall apart. At some point.
Well, and something like this does feel like, and I've felt similarly about something like House of the Dragon, which has much more of a direct sort of piece to adapt. But this is something where I'm like, it doesn't feel like certain prequels can feel like, or midquels or whatever you want to call them, can feel like we need to come up with something to keep this going. Whereas here, it's like, no, I mean there is writing on this, and it is another. You can see what would be gripping about this phase in the history leading up to everything with Sauron and what we'll see later in the Third Age and stuff like that. And so,
sure. Yeah, definitely, John.
Definitely. Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Don't be rude.
Keep
talking.
Okay. You're a wily one.
Talk about Ireland.
Which one? Arondir?
Is that her name?
Oh,
Eleanor. Nori.
Oh yeah, I really liked Nori and Poppy's thing with I mean, I like the they give them so much to do, like the guy, who's fallen from the earth and who has the whole thing with the fireflies. I like
Charlton Copley.
Charlton Copley from Elysium is great. No, I like that though. I mean, I love just the amount of commitment and those young actors, especially the one who plays Nori. Like the amount of half the time she's on the verge of tears as this sort of incomprehensible situation unfolds, and I like the immediacy of that and the sort of tension of everything happening back at home and the slow unfolding of this guy who seems like he could almost be some kind of early wizard or something, and even though the hobbits aren't or the Harfoots aren't. So far, the show is a true ensemble in that I don't feel like anybody is the central character. So, in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, you feel like, you're usually with your central people when you're, hanging with hobbits. But here, I mean, too, I still think they get all that warmth. And whenever you're in their little village, their little, nomadic township, I love those flavors. But also having the two of them separate with this, it almost feels like the later phases of a Merry and Pippin story almost, where their things get a little more serious too. I don't know. I quite liked that. I think my favorite, I enjoyed everything we cut to. I think my favorite bits and pieces were Nori and Poppy and Elrond and Durin. And then, you have Arondir and you have Galadriel. And those stories are more straightforward, more action-oriented this episode. But
there's something that feels really fantasy cliche about that whole thing with Halbrand.
Yes.
Galadriel. I don't know. Especially when the second they got on that raft, I was like, of course, the best-looking guy. He's going to be the one that's going to get
all his hair pulled out. It's not going to be the other guy or the lady. No, it's just going to be the sexy guy.
I think it's an annoying cliche about fantasy stuff to me.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Do I want to watch ugly people? No. So come on.
We already got the dwarves.
Yeah. We already got to put up with their faces.
Yeah.
Let's watch get some more beautiful, two good-looking people.
Yeah,
survive together in close proximity.
I feel like the humans should the world of men should be portrayed exactly smack in the middle, and everyone should be just okay looking because the elves are all gorgeous, and the dwarves are portly and hairy and stuff.
The humans are gorgeous too.
I'm saying
the ones that we have.
The humans should all be met at best to look at.
They got the hot mom.
I know she's so hot.
Brownie. What's her name?
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
I'm a brownie. Yeah. From How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. So Bronwyn.
Yeah.
She had a great. I love that sequence with that orc in their living room.
Yeah.
They go for some jump scares a lot in this show.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense. I think that works.
It does. It's fun. It's I think only one got me, kind of. But most of the time, I'm like, come on.
Well,
it's really predictable jump scare.
And two, I feel like a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times when something that isn't primarily horror, I mean, horror has enough trouble selling a jump scare these days. But yeah, I feel like at times when other genres bring in horror and do a jump scare, sometimes it can be easier to have that seem telegraphed.
Yeah. Well, you got some cool plot stuff development there. Son Theo.
Yes.
He's
gonna become
Sauron Jr. Porn stash in his little backpack there.
That's right.
I just want to keep looking at it, but I can't. Mom, sorry,
Mom,
could you come in here?
I was not polishing my sword.
Did you go to my bag? Did you, Mom?
Knock first, come on. I know we're in grave danger. There are creatures incoming, but yeah.
I mean, clearly, it is some type of beacon that was let off with it.
Yeah, and it feeds on blood.
Oh my god! And Arondir, dude's gone.
Dude's in the descent
He's dead.
now.
Officially dead.
He's dead.
Killed him off camera
Forever.
they heard all that all those people who were like, "Why is there a black elf in this show?" They were like, "We gotta kill him off in the second episode.
We gotta do something about that.
We gotta reshoot this whole show.
We already have a black dwarf.
We gotta
I don't know.
$30 million more per episode.
We got a black
Harfoot.
Black people must just exist in this world. I don't know. Yeah.
No, he's great. I think he does an excellent job at it's very few performers are that great at like being interesting to watch when they're barely speaking, and he does a really good job at that. And he's really natural. Like something as simple as like when he climbed out of the water and whipped out his knife.
Yeah.
Like, damn, he did that like a real warrior.
Yeah.
Something that feels so natural about the way he did that. Like doesn't look like an actor who trained.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's real natural. And I love all the thoughts that you could see going on behind his eyes. I think he does a really great job. For a guy with not many lines, I always find him really compelling to watch.
No,
like
likewise.
He's got a natural intensity to him, too. Like when he's registering, like there's something at the ends of these halls, and he starts like hastening his way out there.
Mustn't make haste.
I really like what he's doing a lot. I think he's really interesting.
Oh yeah,
and
it's easy.
In the trailers, I thought it was going to be some just like cliche, like, "Oh, I'm a warrior elf" or something. But I'm like, no, I like this brooding guy.
Well, yeah, and it's easy to make. It's easy to fall into that pitfall, that trap. But also, it's easy, I think, with this kind of character to come off bland or come off, just sort of one note. And yeah, I agree. Like he does that. He does all the parts of that character that you would want and enjoy, the badass mystique of that. But he doesn't really seem concerned with being a badass. And so, like, there's something, it's the quality of the performance combined with the fact that he is just sort of so focused and observant that does make him, even though we don't really know a ton about him, I am always like, I just want to keep on watching you.
Yeah. And there's so much is happening in this. Sometimes it's too. It's credit the fact that they cut around to so many things, and sometimes it feels like it could be because usually you build into cutting around to multiple stories.
Yeah,
where this show last episode was mainly Galadriel, but we're still cutting around to a bunch of stories.
Yeah,
and it's maintained that cutting around to a bunch,
especially into episode 2. Because in this one, I was like, oh, Galadriel's not even being cut to the lion's share of the time. She might be the slightest in terms of screen time.
Well, it's because they gave her a bunch in the last episode.
Yeah, and
she was the main focus of the last episode.
Yeah, true. I feel like in a show like that, like so far, I like the time geography because, it makes sense to me that while it might not make every story, every episode equally compelling for the same reasons, I feel like, you're going to have some characters who are dealing with a physical situation at the same time as other characters are dealing with a more intimate diplomatic situation. And just sort of like the breadth of relevant places and the different things happening, but that all seem like they're part of a growing sort of malevolent happening within this realm. I feel like all feels relatively well coordinated and well thought out thus far anyway.
Yeah. Why were people hating on this show?
Because, not everyone's white, and the trailer lays out its themes really bare. So it's just like, I don't know, people thought it was too woke.
You got men and women kicking ass in this show.
I know, and you kind of always, I don't know, I mean...
Lord of the Rings had Arwen. And Eowyn.
And Eowyn. I mean, I guess it's not as prominent of, like, they're the leads and stuff. But yeah, I feel like you had a lot of different, diverse, but powerful
Our main
characters.
female character flat out got saved by a man in this episode.
I know. Well, you'll have to remember that everyone who's been hating on this show has not seen an inch of it.
That's true.
Just a couple of trailers.
That's true.
So everyone's like, "Oh, first
watch
Black Dwarf, not on my watch."
Watch the flip happen, where people now it's the woke crowd who's like, I hate this show. I can't believe our main female character was rescued by a white man.
It's clearly set up that she wouldn't need him.
Why does a woman always need a man in every situation?
Yeah, I don't know. People, fans especially, I think fans of book series, because there's something I feel like that's more, you get a license to feel more academic, like I have read and dissected these, and with Tolkien too, there's, he wrote novels, but also wrote histories and linguistic texts and stuff about this world. So I feel like there is an extra ability for Lord of the Rings fans to feel, kind of like experts among casuals.
A lot of this show seems to be dealing with conquering prejudices.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's always been an element, at least from what I can recall, you have the squabbles between the different races and things like that.
Yeah.
So... And I mean, here, they're not, like, stopping everything to make it some kind of 2022 race relations allegory,
That depends. I think there's a lot of commentary about police brutality.
That's right. Sauron is just a sheriff. He's just a corrupt sheriff, and his whole police force just doesn't give a shit, and they're just abusing their power left and right. All these police orcs out here just taking it out on the well-meaning
that
folk.
Theo is, that sword is, it's a metaphor for cell phones.
That's right.
That's his social media right there.
That's right. It's just consuming his mind and turning it into mush. He doesn't know how to interact with anybody out in the real world.
Man, see?
He's going to have no real-world skills.
I'm telling you, man, metaphors.
I know.
Art is open to interpretation, and I hate it.
I hate interpretation.
I hate what I interpret.
Art is just a definitive text and nothing more. Until I write some headcanon fanfic about it. But that's a different story.
Guys, this is the best show of all time.
I'm intrigued. I'm enjoying it, and I hope it keeps developing. I hope it keeps expanding.
Yeah, man, for sure. Listen, guys. Mel Brooks should have been the main dwarf. Yogurt.
Yogurt. Your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Got to forge the biggest Schwartz in all of Middle Earth.
I gotta forge the Schwartz crystals. Gotta smash these stones with a Schwartz. I'll never smash as many stones as me.
You lost it.
Yeah, I know. I yes-anded too hard.
Yeah, he went into a different.
Yeah, and then I went to more New York instead of Jewish. Yeah, totally.
You got to know what every single Jew on the planet sounds like, John.
Mm-hmm. And be able to channel all of those at the same time.
Yeah.
Into a mono.
It's a hive mind.
Hive mind of Judaism.
Said it to my
the hive mind.
The hive mind.
That's my contribution for the day.
Joke about that with my buddy all the time.
Ooh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You have a Jewish friend?
One. I limit it.
I have a bingo card, and once your slot's full, it's full until we decide to not be friends
Andrew
anymore.
Gordon's also Jewish, too.
Oh, you can't be friends with him now.
Nope. Spot's already taken.
I know.
Yeah.
Too bad. I liked Andrew Gordon.
Yeah, but, let's face it, man. Elrond only has like one dwarf friend.
I have a dwarf friend, you guys. I'm going to ask my one dwarf friend for a favor.
All right. This video is done.
It's not over
here, guys.
ever.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye.